Mr. Taft is killing me with this project. If he thinks I can find primary sources, he's crazy. I mean, of course I want to do a project on women's rights, and if it's perfectly with the theme, rights and responsibilities, but how am I supposed to put this into my project? Maybe I should just take a little break. Where am I? Oh! Hey, watch where you're going!
Excuse me, but what are you doing here in this workhouse?
Workhouse? What workhouse?
The Aquacon workhouse in Virginia, of course.
Virginia? I'm from Milwaukee. How did I get here and who are you people?
I'm Alice Paul. This is Lucy Burns.
Alice Paul and Lucy Burns? That's impossible. You guys are dead.
Well, we're quite alive, all right. We're standing right in front of you.
Whoa, wait. If you guys are alive, what year is it?
It's November 1917. And who might you be?
Well, I'm Naomi, and I'm from Milwaukee.
And why exactly are you here?
Well, I was hoping you could tell me that. The last thing I remember was working on my National History Day project, then I fell asleep. Actually, my project is on U-boats and the hunger strike.
Wow, we're flattered, but what exactly is there to know about us? I mean, we haven't made history yet. It's only 1917.
Well, the thing is, I'm from 2014 and you have made history. You both have made huge differences in the world today.
If you're from 2014, can you tell us something about what will happen to us in the future?
Well, actually, I need information about the past. I don't really understand what happened to you guys after you came imprisoned. If you don't mind, can you help me?
Oh, sure, sit down. We'll help you. But remember, you have to be a little quiet. The guards will hear. First, let's give you a little background.
Ever since the Women's Rights Convention at Seneca Falls in 1848, women like us have been fighting for our rights.
And 15% of us American women working outside of the house and factories have to work in miserable conditions and the hostility of male-controlled unions. All the good jobs are reserved for men.
Many married women still cannot control their own wages or inheritances, and guardianship rights and divorce laws almost always favor men. Women don't even get a say in the legal system because they are not included on juries.
I did my research on women's rights, and I can't believe that all happened. But why did you guys decide you wanted to make a change so badly?
I always knew that equal rights was the right direction. Most reforms, most problems are complicated, but to me there is nothing complicated about ordinary equality.
And I grew up in a Quaker household, and when the Quakers were first founded, one of their principles was and still is equality of men and women. So I had no other idea. The principle was always there. I began to really see that women don't have the same equality when I stepped out of my Quaker neighborhood.
And ever since the deaths of Lucy Stone, Elizabeth Cady Stanton, and Susan B. Anthony, we felt that it was our responsibility to carry on their dreams of giving women their equal rights. We want to dedicate our lives to women's suffrage too.
I wish everyone would think like that. I knew it was a good idea for me to do my project on you both, but what are you going to do now since you both are in prison?
Actually, we are both on a hunger strike right now.
Oh yeah, I read about that. It said that the suffragists began hunger strikes when they were denied prisoner political status. It also said you were force-fed. What's that like?
Well, do you mind if I demonstrate on you?
Well, I guess.
Well, during the force feeding, the largest wardress would sit on one side of me, holding my shoulders back to keep me from bending forward. Two other wardresses would sit on either side of me, holding my arms down. Then a doctor from behind would force my head back and place a towel on my throat. Another doctor would stick tubes down my nostrils, and when the tubes reached my throat, my head was forced forward.
That's horrible. I can't imagine what that would feel like. Did you ever try to resist against being force-fed?
Well, twice the tube came through my mouth and I got it between my teeth. Then they had to use an instrument to pry my mouth open. Sometimes they would even tie me to the chair.
Why would they do such terrible things?
Prison doctors say that we will die without food or water, so they have to force feed us. And the conditions here aren't that great either.
What are the conditions like for you?
Well, there are rats scurrying all across the prison floors. We have to sleep on blankets and unheated cells, and we have to wear these scratchy prison clothes.
So the conditions of the jail are bad and you're force-fed? But of all things, why do you choose to starve yourselves?
It is the strongest weapon left in which to continue our battle. When you put your hand to the plow, you can't put it down until you reach the end of the row.
We don't want to stop fighting for our rights just because we have become imprisoned, but we don't want to be violent either.
So you want to keep fighting even though you're in prison? How'd you become imprisoned in the first place?
We did not become imprisoned because we obstructed traffic, but because we were fighting for our equal rights.
How do you become imprisoned for fighting for your rights?
Because we were picketing outside of the White House, trying to urge President Wilson to give us our equality. We picketed through any kind of weather, warm, cold, rainy, anything.
And then the police came and warned us that if our picketing continued, we would become arrested.
But I still don't understand how you could be arrested. You're picketing, not rioting.
Exactly, we both felt the same way.
I even asked, has picketing suddenly become illegal?
Our lawyers have assured us all along that picketing was legal. How could it have suddenly become illegal?
So you're arrested for something illegal?
Apparently so. President Wilson just doesn't want to give us our suffrage because he thinks we don't understand politics since we have no experience in public affairs. And he barely even cares about enfranchisement. He's too caught up with World War I.
President Wilson even encouraged encouraged the press to stop their coverage of our pickets because he thought it was some publicity stunt that will soon end. But we will never stop fighting for our rights, even if we are jailed because of it.
And we need the support from President Wilson because if he supports us, then we'll get some citizens to support us also.
Maybe people should calm down a bit before the guards hear us.
We don't care.
There will never be a new world in order until women are a part of it.
We need to get our suffrage now because our voices deserve to be heard just as much as men.
But you guys know some people don't want you to have rights. Some women don't even want women to have rights. There's a whole association dedicated to women having rights. It's called the National Association of Post-Women's Suffrage. It said that women suffragists work against men instead of cooperation.
We know. And that is not true. We want to work with men, not against them.
And their opinion doesn't matter to us. We are going to keep fighting for what we know is right.
You guys seem so determined. But what about the National American Women's Suffrage Association?
What about them?
They stopped lobbying because they think President Wilson's too occupied World War I. That means you don't have the support of that anymore?
The National American Women's Suffrage Association is just showing that they're too weak and don't care as much as we do about our equality.
Everything we have done has been leading towards something we have been working towards since day one.
The 19th Amendment, right?
Exactly. It is our responsibility.
I read about that. It said that in response to women's outcry about the abuse of suffragists got in prison, President Wilson has reversed his opinion and is now supporting the 19th Amendment and the suffragists. Both House and Senate passed in 1919, then was ratified in 1920.
Are you serious? That's amazing.
So everything we are doing is going to finally pay off? Men and women are equal in 2014?
Yes, things are finally paying off and men and women are equal. There are women senators, there was a woman Secretary of State, and women are voting in every single election.
A female president?
Not yet, but hopefully in the future. What's that?
I'm sorry, I don't think we can chat with you any longer. We have to go now.
That's about for us to get back to ourselves.
Goodbye. Well, thank you, goodbye. Well, now how am I going to get home? I have to finish my project. What am I going to do? How long did I sleep for? Wait, did I just meet Alice Paul and Lucy Burns? They told me everything I need to know for my project. They said that they felt that it was their responsibility to give women their rights. Mom, I just met Alice Paul and Lucy Burns. But how am I going to cite that?
So, I actually read in your paper why you chose the topic, but you want to tell everybody else who didn't get to read the statement that you made in your paper?
Well, so we wanted to do something on women's rights.
Oh, I'm sorry, can you get the door, please?
No.
Thank you.
We wanted to do something on women's rights, but first we were going to do it on suffragists like Elizabeth Cady Stanton, but then we weren't that interested in her, so our teacher told us about Alice Paul
And hunger strikes. And our librarian helped us find information about that, and we found it way more interesting. Not that Elizabeth Cady Stanton is interesting, but we found interest in that, so we decided to change our subject in the middle. And it was kind of difficult to get back on track, but we managed to work it out.
Yeah, you really did. And I think that's really important to have something you're really interested in if you're going to do National History Day, right? Because otherwise you'll be up there and so really came through.
Your research was really impressive,
Thank you.
and the performance was quite good too.
Thank you.
And I like the dream technique of the thing that you use to get us into it. And your last line is wonderful. I don't have any questions for you.
What was the toughest part about the research?
Probably finding primary sources, because in books it was just people talking about her, and they didn't have any interviews or whatever. We did have one newspaper interview, but it was like, it didn't really have anything to do with our topic.
Yeah.
Just one more thing. So you have great, just like Lisa, you have great lines. You just got to slow them down a little bit. Because I know you're trying to get all that information in there, but we really want to hear them come out. The audience really wants to hear that. And so just a little more relaxed, that deep breath right before you start, right? But good use of the space too. I thought that was great.
Continue to breathe. That will slow it down.
You guys have a lot more time to work with, actually.
Right. Yeah. No, we stopped. Oh, I didn't stop. Good thing you did. So it was stopped at just over 7 minutes. So you still had. So you don't have to feel like you have to rush. Although I talk fast naturally too, so when I'm up front, it's even worse for me. So.
He's always nervous.
Yeah. Yes, yes, I am, even now. So, good job. Thank
Well
you.
done.
Thank you.
Good job, ladies.